Hi guys, today we're going to be repainting this little trinket dish that I got from the $5 section at Target. It's got this little dent in it, but let's see what we can do with it. Before we get too far into the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button. It'll help me out a lot and I'd really appreciate it. And make sure you stay to the end to see what this trinket dish transforms into. Maybe you've guessed it by now, but I'm going to be drawing a snake on this trinket dish. This was a little bit challenging. I did not sketch it out beforehand, so this is just full-on paint to the trinket dish. No pre-planning, no forethought, so I'm glad that it went as smoothly as it did because there was really no way to fix that once it had happened because I don't have paint the exact color of the trinket dish. I mean, I could make some, I guess, but that would have been really challenging. So basically, if this was going to go south, the whole trinket dish would have been blue, and then we would have figured something out from there. But thankfully, it went okay, and I was able to paint a snake on the trinket dish, which seems a little weird, but I want it to go along with a magical fantasy theme. When I create these kind of things, I think about my future house and what I would want it to have in it and look like, and fantasy is something me and my husband both really love, so that's always on the forefront of my mind when I create new things like this. No, snakes aren't inherently fantasy creatures, obviously, and I don't necessarily prefer them, but just wait until the end and see what I come up with because it's pretty magical and I'm pretty happy with how it turns out. After I completed all of the details on the body of the snake and smoothed out the edges a little bit more, I was ready to move on to some details, and for the details, I chose to do some flowers and some greenery. Well, it's not really green in this case, but still grass and that kind of stuff, plants around it, so that it looked like it was in an environment, and also so the trinket dish was a little more full. If you watched the video where I paint a plant pot, then you'd know this, but I'm not really a big fan of too much white space. I think it's important to really fill your area and make it so your eye can't help but know what to look at. Like right now there's more white space than there is any design, and for me that simply will not do. So I'm just going to keep adding more flowers, more greenery, more vines, branches, whatever you might want to call them, until it's more full and a little more magical, a little more fun, because flowers and snakes, that's just magic written all over it. Those natural things that happen in the world. When deciding what to do for this trinket dish, I had a lot of different ideas. At first, I was thinking something like this, like a snake, and I wasn't really sure though what colors I would want to do because I was thinking black and white, but that's not really my style. I'm kind of a more colorful, and again, I've used this word in the past, but I'm choosing to use it again, pizzazzy person, I think. So I was thinking black and white, some classic kind of look, but that just wasn't going to work for me. And I still wanted to keep it simple though. So I decided instead of black that I would use blue and white because I really like blue Danube, or like that porcelain glass with like the blue and white little images and pictures on it. That stuff is so pretty to me. I don't know why. So that was kind of part of the inspiration as well. So after I mapped out all of the main image, I put these little sparkles, or dots, I guess, really, around the snake. And I really just, we need to fill that space. So that's me filling the space. And then I also add little stars and sparkles to it. And it's starting to feel pretty magical. Yeah. Do you see it? I see it. Those magical sparkles interrupted my train of thought, but what I was saying is I chose blue and white to keep it more simple, but just wait till the end because I add something else that really, really pulls the magical theme in my mind all together, and I'm really excited about this one. Now it's time to add some details, so I'm adding details with a white, and I'm using this really small paintbrush, which makes me have to dip into the paint like a million times over and over and over again, but that's okay because we want it to go on smooth and we want a pretty end result. I added these white lines to indicate a sense of movement in the snake. I didn't want it to just look like a flat road or like a flat object, so this just adds a little bit of dimension and it shows that the snake has different rolls and folds. After I made the snake look a little more snake-like, then it was time to move to the inside of the flowers in order to separate them from the snake, which, as you can see, was a little bit challenging. It was hard to keep my white inside of the blue, but that's okay. We just went back and touched it up later, so no big deal. We'll just fix it up and it all ends up working out in the end. While I'm filling in all of those flowers, let's just do a little check-in. Comment down below how your year has been so far. We are about a little more than a week into 2022, and I'm interested to know how your year is going. What are you excited for most in this new year, and how is it treating you? And also, how are you treating yourself? Make sure you're giving yourself a lot of grace. I know around the new year there's a lot of pressure to change your entire person and who you are within a matter of a week, and sometimes those things aren't even important things. So let's just take a minute and reflect on how our year's going and what we're excited for about it. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to in 2022 is to get better at creating things, to become more creative, and then to share all of my process in becoming those things with you guys here on YouTube. I hope to grow a lot in my art and also in my editing and in how I talk to you guys. I am still very much new, but I'm very excited for what the future holds and all of the potential that I see in this new year. Here comes my favorite part, which is adding these little sparkle dots, which make it even more magical, and which I imagine to be moons and stars on the snake's back. I'm not sure why that would happen, but here he is just living his life with some special patterns on his back. I added a lot of special little dots on the snake's back, so many that while watching it I got the urge to count them, but I haven't yet, but I might. But if you guys want to, maybe count the dots and let me know how many spots are on the snake's back. I'm interested to know. North of 50, I think. It's time to add some tape to the sides of the trinket dish to help me with what I'm about to do. This is the magical element that we have all been waiting for to be revealed, and it's here. So I'm putting some tape on the trinket dish, and the magical element is that I'm going to be painting the inside sides of the dish gold. And let me just tell you, this is what puts the magic over the top for me. It just sparkles. It's so pretty. I mean, you know, if you watched my butterfly video where I used those sparkly gel pens, that anything glittery, anything sparkly, I'm down for. So this is just wow. I mean, just look at that shine, look at that gold. It makes such a difference to me, and it makes it look so classy. Then I peeled off that tape and it was a success. It left some nice clean lines around the gold, made it look really nice and finished. Really happy with how that worked. Finally, I put 2 thin layers of varnish on top and it was completed. And here's a look at the final results. Thank you guys for watching me paint that trinket dish. If you like what you saw, be sure to comment down below and subscribe and hit that like button. It'll help me so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.